Hiya, welcome to our video about what we jokingly call the Frankenstein's monster beetle, because as you can see it's made now up from lots of different components, lots of different parts and codged together to get it going again. There's a story behind that, I'll tell you about that now. Basically, when I was a young lad, I always wanted a Tamiya RC car. But as you know, back then, well, they're expensive now, but back then, they were way out of my reach. But then, one day, I think it was in '86 when this thing came out, went to Beetle's in Birmingham, big model shop, and this thing had just been released. And they got a video of it going round, I think it was on a beach or something, it was flying round, and I thought, I've got to have it. So, got the wallet out and took it home. Well, all I can say is I had some great fun with this thing. As you can see, it's a little bit different now, but back in the day, it was great fun. I won't go into the details, but one day, somebody took a bit of a dislike to it, and would you believe, drove over the back end of the car in an actual real car. Well, all I can say is there wasn't much left of the back end. The whole shell was shattered, the back wheels completely flattened, the motor casings were bent, I think the motor was destroyed, all of the plastics on the back were broken, the body mounts, and I thought, oh no, what am I going to do with that? It's ready for the bin. So basically, I bought a few spare parts. I think I bought some spare wheels, but I couldn't get the gold ones that came with the kit, so they were yellow plastic, and it went up into the loft. About 3 or 4 years back, found the thing in the loft, thought, you know what, I'm going to get this thing going again. So, went on a bit of a mission, and here you see the results. We've changed quite a lot of things out, and I'll go through those with you now. Let's start at the back, where it was broken.
Yeah, a lot of this will be the new stuff, won't it?
Yeah.
Most of the front's still the same as it was back in the day, isn't it?
Yeah. When I started to rebuild it, they hadn't re-released it yet, so I couldn't get a lot of the parts, or a lot of the parts were so expensive on eBay. I thought, let's have a go with aluminium. As you can see here, this back plate, this used to be all plastic. I've cut this original bit, there was the only bit left of the plastic that broke, and made this aluminium support at the back, which bolts onto the motor. I stuck the original Monster Beetle plate onto the back and fixed the aerial to that. While I was at it, I thought I might as well mount the on-off switch in there, which is a bit of a change from the original, but I think it works quite well at the back there. Nice and easy to get to. The mounts here were snapped off, as you can see here. I tried to glue it on a few times, but it kept breaking off again. So we decided, well, get the aluminium out again, make some plates, and I've bolted these to the side end of the battery holder. And I've changed the battery holders out. You can see there's the original battery holder plastics, and then fashioned this plate, drilled some holes in it, and some bolts which the motor now sits on. These are very solid, works quite well.
Quite a neat looking job.
It's not too bad. The only thing I did need to do was reinforce these brackets with this strut, because aluminium, as you know, it's quite malleable, will move quite easily, but this stiffens it up. Put another plate on there to mount the ESC on, because the original, as you know, back in '86 had this mechanical speed controller with the resistor.
It's a weird looking thing.
Yeah, the thing is, you only get 3 speeds off. It's like what, no speed,
I've not seen one of them before.
And the same in reverse. And the extra current that you're wasting when you're going slower is just lost through the resistor. So got rid of that.
When did they change that out? What sort of year would they have updated that?
I think the ESC's electronic speed controllers came out probably, you probably got them at the end of the 90s, I'm not sure. But anyway, the ESC electronic speed controller, it's a lot more variable. It's like linear when you accelerate and decelerate, and you don't get the wastage of power through resistor. So stuck that thing on there, and a new receiver. So what else have we done to the back end? Yeah, the gearbox was all bent. I managed to hammer these plates back straight. The motor mount, this is the old one. I don't know if you can zoom in on that, Alf. It's slightly bent now. I don't know if you can see. Depends how I hold that. That was bent in the incident.
Yeah, I can see a little bit actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
you can notice slightly.
Yeah, so the motor wasn't mounting properly and the gear wasn't meshing up properly. So unfortunately, I had to buy the whole tree for that, which was these parts, just to get that one piece. But
it's a bit annoying.
Yeah, I know. Plus, I'd already bought these, so anyway.
That's the same with most things, isn't it?
Yeah, nice set of spares there, just in case. So, what else did I change out? Yeah, one was out there with the files and the aluminium and the drills. I thought, to go with the theme, this is the original Tamiya parts, like a bash plate on the underneath. I quite like that, and you've got the aluminium on the gearbox. I put my own little bit on the back there, so I thought, hang on, we've got a bit of a theme going on here. So these, I didn't really need to change these brackets, but I just thought a nice little touch there to make these rear shock mounts.
It kind of blends in with the rest as well.
It does. It all kind of matches up. This piece of aluminium here is also original, and as you can see, I've made my own front shock tower brace. That's pretty solid. I know it's only very thin aluminium, but does the job well. It's very light. To replace this nasty bit of plastic, I'm not really keen on that, so change that out for my own brace. Made some new holes in the front shock tower there, put some washers on, bolted that on, and that works a treat. Right, well obviously one of the biggest things we've done is change the shell. The original was smashed to pieces. This is a Lexan reproduction by a company called Camtech. It's a British company, and they're pretty well priced really. You know, it's not really full of detail. It's lacking actually quite a bit of detail, but you know, overall it's not really a bad shell. It's pretty thick, pretty strong. I think it's a good replacement. We run the car often, it gets bashed and turns upside down a lot, so
yeah, it's a couple of years old, isn't it?
It's a few years old now. Now,
hold up well.
If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll see I've bought a Blitzer Beetle recently. This is more like the original Monster Beetle shell. Hard plastic, painted on the outside, but I spent that much time doing that and I don't really want to smash it up, so I will run that shell. But this now is the everyday runner, and it gets run on my Blitzer Beetle. If you see a Blitzer Beetle series of videos, you'll see this shell on the Beetle running. So we use it on both now.
You even put a little driver in this one, didn't you?
Yeah, well unfortunately we can't really do that with the Lexan copy, but that comes with the car. But I just made a plate there and mounted it on the proper side, the English side, as I call it. So this one, sprayed from the inside, used a bit of the Tamiya smoke paint there, just to darken the windows out a little bit, because there's no detail inside.
Yeah, it looks cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, it works really well. Because this shell, unlike the original, doesn't come with the mounts for the front spots, I've made another little bracket there and mounted the spots onto the chassis. So it's nice and solid, because there's nowhere to mount on this Lexan copy.
Those are the original?
They are the original lights.
They're quite expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, you're right, Alf. I've seen those things go for stupid prices on eBay. But yes, those are the original. I thought might as well stick them on there, seeing as I've got them.
Yeah, you wouldn't really think, would you?
No. Oh yeah, the one other big mod that I've made to this, you can see it's not the standard motor. This is an atomic 21 turn, or a double turn. Works quite well with this car with the standard gearing. If you look at the rear drive shafts there and the output shafts, they are obviously not the standard ones that come with the original Monster Beetle. These are the originals, and it's this.
Are those the ones that got run over?
Yeah.
They don't look too bent. Actually.
Well, they're pretty strong steel units, so they didn't bend at all. But the thing is that these cups, you can probably see there, are well worn in these hex drives. So this sits in there. This is the wheel shaft, and they started to slip round and they were
you're
falling
losing
out.
power.
Yeah, it was just spinning basically. So
Yeah.
I had to get rid of those. I think I bought new wheel shafts, but that didn't fix the job. So I thought, you know what, bite the bullet, and I'm going to upgrade to the dog bone shafts. Now, these are from the Subaru Brat. Direct fit from that kit. They fitted straight on. The output shafts, the dog bones and the wheel shafts are a straight fit. I just thought I'd show you this. You probably see me moaning in the other videos about Tamiya bushings. Have a look at this one. This was one of the originals. I'll put it on the table there, Alf. Out of the Monster Beetle. That's one of the rear ones. I don't know if you can see if I put it on the shaft. There you go. There's the movement we've got in that
Not even a
shaft.
tight fit, is it?
So that's why I recommend getting rid of those. I don't know how long that ran in there. I did grease it now and again, but it's completely gone.
I bet it's so much better now, isn't it?
It is so much better. We've got the metal bearings in this one, along with, say, the Subaru Brat drivetrain at the back. It works a treat. It really does work really well. So that's pretty much my 1986 Frankenstein's monster Beetle. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you've got any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Put them in the comments. Hope to see you soon.